Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, growing local and global pressure against racist and bigots on social media. Bereaved families frustrated by delay. An interfaith vigil for terror attack victims held.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
While many around the world continue to unite in mourning the 50 worshippers murdered in the terrorist attacks at the two Christchurch mosques 4 days ago, some are using the terrorist attack to spread more hate. Included in this heartless and racist list are some Fijians with real and fake social media accounts who have joined other bigots from around the world to spread more animosity in the hopes of inciting further hatred against the Muslim community. Akosita Tale reports the Fiji police force is now saying enough and has launched an investigation to find the culprits.
It's been quite obvious for some time that as more people get on social media platforms, cyberbullying and hate speech keeps on increasing. In light of the Christchurch murders, some are now finally speaking against this trend.
What is being said now is terrible. In the face of this tragedy, and this is not Fiji. Fijian people do not behave like this. They behave with compassion, with a lot of love. So something is going wrong somewhere. So we are against it, and this should not be happening. When we are on social media, and we are friends with people who are talking like this, we should not be quiet. We should call them out.
The opposition says it denounces the cowardly act, calling on the authorities to ensure racists and bigots are punished for inciting hatred on social media.
Instead of empowering tolerance, this has happened. So we really blame all of ourselves. So sad as it is, we sympathize with each and every family. We denounce it entirely.
The Online Safety Commission this afternoon confirmed to FBC News that despite the obvious hate-filled social media posts, no one has come forward to lodge a report. The public is now being urged to report any online hate speech.
Should a complaint regarding the circumstances that took place last Friday come to the Commission and come and make its way to the Online Safety Commission, we would be duty-bound to act on that appropriately and according to the law.
The police is not taking this issue lightly.
I've directed my Chief Investigator in Intelligence and my Director CID that they need to look at the hate speech that has been propagated on social media and to start investigations immediately. And that we need to take these people to task to put a stop to this type of unwarranted comments. We are looking into that. We have to deal with this issue. We can't allow this type of hate speech and rhetoric to continue.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama is urging Fijians to speak up against racism and hatred in all forums and platforms.
Facebook is being criticized for not doing enough to make its platform safe after it was used to live stream the attack. The video was shared more than 1 million times, and the social media giant is facing mounting pressure to change the way it operates. The family of 59-year-old Hafiz Musa Patel, one of the victims of the Christchurch terror attacks, has urged New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern to speed up the victim identification process. The families have spoken of their frustration in getting his body back. As more stories of bravery outside the mosque on Friday emerge, more information on those who lost their lives inside are being shared. This as many families still await bodies of their loved ones to be returned. The families of 2 of the 3 Fijian nationals killed in the Christchurch massacre flew to New Zealand this afternoon. 61-year-old Ashraf Ali's family received their visas late yesterday. Late Ali's younger brother Shabir Ali, sister and niece will be attending the funeral expected to be held this week. The sister of 58-year-old Ashraf Razak Ali, Tamina Bibi, also received her visa and flew out today. Ashraf Razak Ali, popularly known as Babu, had gone to New Zealand a week prior to the shooting. Vigils and prayers for victims and the grieving families of the Christchurch tragedy continue around the country. Many gathered for an interfaith prayer at the airport mosque in Namaka, Nadi last night to remember those who were killed and those still recovering in hospital. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The message was clear from both faith groups during the interfaith prayer: speak out against hatred and hate speeches.
So we have to embrace love, we have to embrace the community gathering, and especially we have to bombard hatred against each and every one of us living in peace and harmony.
Those present were also reminded that during this difficult time, they are not alone.
And on behalf of my people in Nandi, I would like to assure you, assure the community, the Muslim community, that we support you 100%. When we are in Nandi, we are all brothers.
We are here to say that we are one, we are united, we are not afraid, we are with the families. And it is hard time now that we have to speak against hatred and against hate speeches.
Mufti Zain has at the same time acknowledged the support shown towards the Muslim community in Fiji and around the globe during this time of anguish. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Meanwhile, people from all walks of life gathered at the Anglican Church in Suva this afternoon to remember victims of the heinous crime in Christchurch last Friday. It was a day for Fijians to reflect in word and in prayer, the tragedy that happened so close to home. Sainiani Boiler reports.
It's a day to remember them. 50 candles were lit to represent those who were killed during Juma prayers at two Christchurch mosques last Friday.
50 candles represent 50 more reasons to work together, reclaim all the spaces that are filled with hate, discrimination, and violence, and transform them into sacred places of peace.
Acting Prime Minister Ayaz Said Kayum reminded Fijians to speak out against discrimination and racism. Fiji Council of Churches President Reverend Dr. Tewi Tambaniwano says it's about time we work together.
Never thought that it would be as close to us. You know, New Zealand is just our next door neighbor. When that happens, we saw that, it is coming this way, and we would like to be part of the attempt to stop it and not to let it move around the region, especially here in Fiji.
New Zealand Ambassador to Fiji Jonathan Kerr says they're working with the Fijian families who lost their loved ones during the shooting. The vigil was also attended by the Parliament MPs, NGOs, religious organizations and other stakeholders. Sainiani Boiler, FBC News.
Still to come, taxi-based battle continues in Nadi, and farmers seek better agricultural services. Details after the break.
Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Hoya uvasit sai sai lambasa, ya ndo talita ina warong nambula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Gua da tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na warong nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Wana mtuma nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere nawaluan.
Na vengo fani na tao nyongo singa toka. Kita ndo talita kana Bula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Bula FM nambandua.
Around 300 taxi drivers in Nadi are seeking clarification from the LTA on the allocation of taxi bases. The taxi drivers claim that zone permit holders are invading their base, which affects their daily income. The drivers say while they are paying fees for the base and the zone taxis are operating free of charge. Felipe Naikaso has more.
These taxi operators are up in arms over the Nadi zone drivers who are allegedly using their base to operate from.
Taxi operator zone 2, you should know what to do. Like Buto Lebu, there is no taxis there. So busy place. Nasosa Junction, there's no taxi there. 20, 15 cars always park every day. Sambeto, same problem. They've got 15, 20 cars problem. Fulton College, no taxi base there. They should, all these DUNN taxis should go and operate from there. Short and simple, don't make crowd here.
The drivers say many times they can't even park at the base as the space is taken by the Nandi zone drivers. They say they cannot risk operating from other areas as they will be fined.
They were not supposed to park there, but they want to park there. We told them, please leave our 4 bases here. We are operating from the rest of the base. You can park there if it is empty. But still they want to operate all the bases, 14 bases what we have.
Currently, the Nandi Zone 2 taxi operates from Namotomoto to Lomolomo, while the Nandi Zone 1 taxis service areas from Momi Bay until the Nandi Town Bridge.
When they applied the permit, right, the zone permits, they applied from areas like Korovuto, Navakai, Sambeto, right? They should operate from their area. Eh? Why they want to operate from our base when we pay the base fee? Eh?
Questions have also been sent to LDA in this regard last week remains unanswered. Philippe Naikaso, FBC News.
The unavailability of agriculture officers during working hours is an issue for farmers in the Northern Division. Farmer Mahendra Patel has told the Agriculture Minister this is holding them back from meeting the demands of the industry. Sanyani Boiler reports.
Speaking on behalf of farmers in the Northern Division, Mahendra Patel questioned the Minister on the services provided by the agriculture officers in the North.
Farmers would like to know whether these agricultural officers present in the office, they know the size of the farms of every individual farmers. These agricultural officers must know the farms, the size of the farms, and then distribute seeds from there.
Agriculture Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy assured the farmers this will be dealt with accordingly, as the ministry's ultimate client are the farmers.
We exist because of you. We have a national interest. We have your interest in mind, and we have national interest in mind. We want every farmer to get the maximum output from his farm.
The ministry has also urged farmers to utilize initiatives provided by the ministry to meet the local and export demands for agriculture produce. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Waste and pollution are major threats to sustainable development in Fiji, second to climate change. The Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Agriculture will start a nationwide program of recycling organic waste within our backyards rather than sending it to the dump sites. Kritika Kumar reports.
The Environment Minister is urging household heads not to send organic or green waste to dump sites.
Households, companies, firms, they need to support by assisting them in separating out and allowing collection of these materials which can be recycled and converted into a viable product rather than being treated as a waste, and it ends up at dump sites and landfill.
He adds his ministry will work with everyone in dealing with gaps in the national strategy for waste management.
Eventually, when the carrying capacity becomes a constraint, then these waste material would threaten the environment. So we have to start now dealing with this problem before it becomes a threat to the environment.
Green Waste Recycle Private Limited says they are trying their level best to clean our environment.
Before we shoot and we build it and then we export to overseas. And in our future, we're trying to make another factory to produce some products here.
The planned nationwide program will be an example of a self-sustaining system, and the Environment Ministry says it will be based on sound principles of waste minimization. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Coming up in sports, Gamal not happy with Fiji's performance despite beating New Caledonia 3-1 in FIFA International Friendly last night. But first, Anna is here now with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Vodafone Fiji invests in network infrastructure. And in growing Fiji, new service at Ba Hospital by July. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM.
only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nursery. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Aotearoa, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, Vodafone Fiji will commission 40 new 4G Plus base stations in Vanuatu as part of its $200 million capital investment in network infrastructure. Vodafone Fiji Regional Chief Executive Pradeep Lal says this is being done to increase data coverage in remote areas including islands of the Northern Division. Lal says high-speed internet services will also be available on the islands like Taveuni and Rambi, and they have set aside $60 million for this project.
Once we have that transmission up and running, then we'll be able to branch it out to places like Langalanga or other areas like Bunleka, Wailevu, and Tambia, Senganga, and also that branches out to the Raketi corridor.
Sunefa from HFC Bank joins us now with the latest from the trading world.
The US dollar was under pressure this morning, weighed by growing concerns about slower US economic growth expectations and the chance Federal Reserve might shift to a more accommodating policy stance this week. Closer to home this afternoon, the Aussie slipped across the board after the Reserve Bank of Australia minutes and housing numbers raised difficulties for the Aussie buyers. Australia's 3-year government bond yield dropped below the Reserve Bank of Australia's official cash rate of 1.5% for the first time since 2016. Looking ahead, traders may now concentrate on risk sentiment to determine immediate market moves, among them Brexit, the US-China trade talks, and expectations surrounding the Federal Open Market Committee that could grab the headlines. That's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
It was a strong day for the Fiji dollar as it rose against the Chinese yuan, the US greenback, the Kiwi, Kina and the yen. There was some slippage against the Aussie dollar and the euro. Looking at commodities, oil rose in price to over $59 per barrel. Gold continued its rise at $1,305 per ounce and silver closed up at $15.37 an ounce. In growing Fiji, Minister for Economy Ayaz Saad Qayyum has confirmed that Aspen Medical of Australia will be operating Bar Hospital by June or July this year. Saad Qayyum says operation of the hospital under the Public-Private Partnership Program will make a phenomenal change in services provided by the hospital. He says some of the services to be provided at the new hospital are not available at medical centers around the country. Saad Qayyum says there are plans to foster medical tourism so other Pacific Island countries can also access the advanced medical services provided.
To have that kind of service available in Fiji, a number of other procedures that currently are available will be a game changer, not just in respect of the services available to our citizens, but also the ability to develop a medical tourism sector too.
And that's a wrap from the business desk for tonight. Jamie is next with sports.
Thanks and good evening in sports tonight. Munt says he feels at home with Fiji Warriors. And Gamel dedicates win to victims of Christchurch terror attack. This and more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Swire Shipping Fiji Warriors captain Frank Lomani says participating in the World Rugby Pacific Combined program last year helped sharpen his skills and improved his understanding of professional rugby. Lomani will be part of the program again this year and joins 25 other players selected from the Fiji, Tonga and Samoa teams that participated in the recent Pacific Challenge competition. Korei Tandulala has more.
World Rugby High Performance Manager Peter Horn says Frank Lomani is one of the outstanding and successful players who benefited from the program last year.
He was part of the historic victory over France, and then he was selected for the Barbarians team and played Argentina in November. So Frank has achieved an extreme amount in a short amount of time, and that's what we want. We want to accelerate the development of players so that they can achieve their goals.
Fiji Warriors captain Frank Lomani says the program is a pathway for local players who want to make a professional career out of rugby.
It helped me a lot to be a good professional rugby player. Going on from there to the Flying Fijians, it was easy for me to just go and mingle with the boys because I've learned a lot from how to be a rugby player from Melbourne Rebels. And I think this camp is it helped the other local players to become a good professional rugby player.
Meanwhile, 14 Fijian players is part of the Pacific Combined program this year. Untitled Chapter, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, New Zealand-based Caleb Muntz says it was great being part of the Fiji Warriors in the World Rugby Pacific Challenge, which ended over the weekend. The 20-year-old is one of 14 Warriors selected for the World Rugby Pacific Combined program. Meli Tabanga reports.
Playing in New Zealand for his entire career, Caleb Muntz is happy language has not been a problem since he arrived here to be part of the Warriors.
To speak English when they want to, not to speak too much Fijian when I'm around, but obviously I come from a Māori background as well, so a lot of the values in my Māori background is real similar to the islands. It's kind of kept me focused and kept me on task on what I'm here for and making sure I don't miss mum and dad too much.
In the Pacific Challenge over the weekend, the 20-year-old partnered with Frank Lomani in the halves. He says being recognized as part of the Combine program is a highlight of his rugby career.
To be in this Combine is quite special. Some of the best talent, under 23 talent in the 3 islands that are involved, so obviously it's quite a proud moment.
Combine head coach Chris Hickey says getting the players from Fiji, Tonga and Samoa to camp is challenging, but they are getting there.
It's one of the challenges that we talk to the boys about. There's physical challenges like today, there's mental challenges and there's social challenges. So, all the players share with a roommate from another country, and part of what we see evolving during the week is the 3 nations coming together.
The Combine side will have 2 more training sessions before taking on Namosi on Friday at Suva's Albert Park. Meli Tabanga, FBC Sports.
The Kadauningau Sevens team believes it's ready for the 43rd Fiji Beta Mara Sevens tournament this weekend. The side has been competing in a number of local tournaments this year, and team officials say they've seen a lot of improvements in players. The Lomaiviti-based team has produced some big names in Fijian rugby, such as Marika Vunimbaka, Saimoni Rokini, Samu Saumaisue, and Kelimendi Mbola. The team is made up of players from a few villages on Ngau Island and some who reside in Suva.
I know that Mars is the pinnacle of the local sevens tournament, and yes, getting them to be involved in this major sevens tournament, been developed through these local tournaments.
The Vodafone Fiji football side accounted for New Caledonia 3-0 in its first FIFA International Friendly Match of the year at Suva's ANZ Stadium last night. Before kick-off, both teams observed a moment of silence for the victims of the Christchurch terror attacks. Koroi Tandolala reports.
National football coach Christophe Gamel dedicated Fiji's win to those affected by the terror attack in Christchurch 4 days ago.
The score is great because I dedicate it for all the people in Christchurch, and particularly the 3 Fijian families who got in this drama and tragedy.
Samuel Andrundu scored a double for Fiji in the first half, and Rusiate Materurenga netted their final goal in the second spell to seal the win.
Andrundu sneaking through, Andrundu turns and drives, and Samuel Andrundu. Deep one it is to the header through and headed down by some. It's a good one and missed time by Raymond, and Rosiate Materurenga punishes the mistake by Raymond Sailu.
New Caledonia's coach Thierry Sardo says mistakes cost them the game.
It was a good football for the team today, but a lot of occasion, but no scores a goal and 3 mistakes, and that's why today it's a defeat.
Fiji will meet Mauritius in its last international friendly at 3 p.m. on Sunday at Lautoka's Churchill Park. Corey Tandulala, FBC Sports.
Thousands have gathered in Cardiff to celebrate Wales winning the Six Nations Grand Slam title. The Highlanders Super Rugby side has regrouped after their match against the Crusaders was called off on Saturday. The shootings devastating and shocking for all, but for the Highlanders head coach in particular. Cristiano Ronaldo could face a Champions League suspension for an obscene off-field gesture. In today's Play of the Day at the Players' Championship 2019, Rory McIlroy picked apart TPC Sawgrass with his accurate shot shaping. Here's one of his shot trail highlights from his 15th win on the PGA Tour. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later with weather, and in the world of the weird and the wonderful, diver comes face to face with a shark but gets a smooch instead of a bite. Find out more after the break.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
Is your phone eavesdropping on everything you say? Cybersecurity experts weigh in on whether or not your phone is always listening. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope you're doing well this evening after receiving some great sunshine. The weather is actually doing quite well. Taking a look in the west, the day was fitting for a dive or just chilling under the coconut tree. Eastwards from Pak Harbor to Suva, it was humid with some showers. And up north, sunny spells were quite comfortable, easier to move around especially when you're doing some hard yards. At sea, southeast winds gusting from 20 to 25 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, low tide at 11:51 a.m. with high tide at 6:02 a.m. Sunrise at 6:10. For tomorrow, much the same as today, with an increased chance of heavy showers and thunderstorms later in the day. Tomorrow's temps mostly ranging in the low 30-degree range. And looking further on to Thursday, more of the same. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. And Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, what can we do to prevent hate-motivated social media posts?
I think that the Online Safety Commission should be more active.
We have to report the matter to the authorities.
People who posted hate speech should be penalized.
There should be some authority to report these people to.
Talk to them straight.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, too close for comfort or close and comforting. A diver comes face to face with a shark during his expedition, but instead of a bite, he gets a smooch. Recapping the main stories for tonight, growing local and global pressure against racist and bigots on social media. Bereaved families frustrated by delay. An interfaith vigil again for terror attack victims held. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, will you pledge to call out hate and racist speech on social media? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Akash Gander. The picture was taken at Maui Bay in Singatoka. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight from the team and I. Good night.
bula na vango malkai leloma ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM number 2 na seri.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM number 2 na seri.
Gue ada tumeli aku na tao no hinga toka talita kina na warong ng Bula FM number 2 na seri.
Wala ng Bula FM number 2 na seri number 1.
Na vango fane na tao no go singa toka kita untuk talita kana Bula FM number 2 na seri.
Bula FM number 2 na seri.